Hello, my name is Tina Beal. Today we will discuss questions conceived from Teach Like Your Hair's on Fire by Rafe Esquith concerning teacher-student relationships in the classroom. We have Kayla Johnson, Nancy Nelson, and Giorgio Lyman here to discuss these relationships. Mr. Lyman, how would you as an educator turn your classroom into a community of learners?
That is a great question. First, I would approach that issue in the first few weeks of the school year. And then I would allow the students to provide rules in which they must follow. These rules will teach them responsibility, respect, and classroom values.
Ms. Johnson, how would you help your students develop critical thinking skills?
I would group my students together and provide them with assignments in which they must learn and analyze each other's point of view to converge to one single solution.
Mr. Lyman, do you think that these critical thinking skills can help the students in the real world?
Yes, I do. Because the purpose of problem solving should be to develop critical thinking skills which will help the student in their daily life. They will be able to process the world while thinking about the quickest, safest, and easiest way to accomplish a goal.
Ms. Nelson, do you think that material reward systems should be used in schools?
I do not believe that we as educators should reward students with material objects. We should reward students with knowledge. If I provide a student with a piece of candy for answering a question correctly, they are not striving for superior knowledge, but only to quench their sweet tooth.
Ms. Johnson, how would watching movies in the classroom be used as a tool for learning?
It gives the children a way to visualize terms used in literature such as plot, climax, anticlimax, and setting. By contrasting books to movies, students get a chance to use their critical analysis skills.
Ms. Nelson, would you as a teacher start an after-school film club where students can come and watch movies?
I could see this as a good way for students to use their time, but I would prefer to use after-school time to tutor the students in trouble areas or to tutor them for an exam.
Mr. Lyman, according to Rafe Esquith, what is the process of understanding any word problem?
Well, the first step is for the student to analyze the problem to understand it. They must choose the appropriate strategy, and finally they must then use that strategy to solve the issue at hand. And then if the problem is still not solved, they must repeat the process until the problem is solved.
Ms. Nelson, why is acting as a role model in the classroom so important?
As role models, we should mirror the behavior in which we expect the children to reflect, such as values, ethics, and morals. We should take advantage of that special opportunity we have each and every day with our students.
Ms. Johnson, how would you as an educator get children to discover their own personal code of ethics?
We want the children to be proud of how they act and what they do by playing the part of role models. We must act as examples of good and acceptable behavior. We hope that by doing this, children will begin to discover their personal code of ethics.
We see fear in the classroom every day. Mr. Lyman, how would you as an educator turn that fear into trust?
Well, as being an educator, I would like to step down and work on the same level as my students to give a sense of quality within the classroom. This is important because some students build a wall when teachers act superior. We should also treat these students the same way we would like to be treated. We must build a relationship with our students and give them the ability to depend on us.
The classroom is an important experience for children. My question to you, Ms. Johnson, is how will you hope to improve a student's life while in your care?
I would like to use their education to help the students accomplish more throughout their lives. I would like to develop trust within the relationship between the student and myself. By making the classroom a community, I will be able to further their confidence in themselves and that they do. When they leave my classroom, I want them to believe that they can excel in everything they put their minds to.
Each and every day, teachers experience many things that put stress on them that might cause them to quit or give up. Ms. Nelson, why do you think that teachers give up in the classroom?
I believe that teachers give up for many reasons. They might revolve around money. For example, they might not be getting their raises or maybe receiving less and less in funding. Some might give up because they believe they are not good teachers, because they could not reach a certain child. Many teachers might also give up because of the culture that students bring into the classroom from the outside world, such as race and poverty.
This interview was a complete success. I would like to thank Ms. Johnson, Ms. Nelson, and Mr. Lyman for coming in today to discuss Teach Like Your Hair's on Fire by Rafe Esquith.